Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In the Light. This is Angie Hillman, and today I have a very special guest, Sydney Bramlett. Hello, Sydney. Hello.
Hi.
And I have a little history with Sydney's family. I've really known of her since she's been just a little one. She's currently a sophomore at Sienna Heights, majoring in musical theater. But I met her aunt Terry, back when I went to Eastern Michigan University. And her Aunt Terry introduced me to her sister Sherry, and Sherry is your mom.
Yes.
So that's how we know each other. And your family, I mean, you come by musical theater, very honestly, because your entire family performs.
Yes, all of them do. Not so much my mom anymore, but my dad is in a rock band called Category 5, and my mom is a photographer, and she used to do pageants and modeling as well as dance.
She was a Tahitian dancer.
Yes, she was a Tahitian dancer.
Man, those hips could move. I've seen some videos. That is some unbelievable stuff. People don't realize how physical that is.
They don't. I tried to learn it when I was younger because I was like, I want to be like, because my older sister Stephanie did it as well. And I would always see the videos of them doing it. And I was like, I want to learn it too. And I tried doing it. And my abs hurt for weeks the first time I did it. It's a lot in the core.
Yeah, they call that your core. I haven't found my core yet. So
I think I lost mine.
And then your Aunt Terry, she was Miss Michigan.
Yes, she was.
Long time ago. And I remember going with your mom and your dad, and we all went to the Miss America pageant.
Yes.
And all of our hair was very big back then.
Yes. I have pictures of this.
And we wore our Terry Sue buttons. Everybody wore like a button of their contestant. Yes. And this is when Regis and Kathy Lee were the big hosts. Mm-hmm. And it was so awesome to see her up there. So, I mean, you come from a line of people who like to perform.
Mm-hmm. It's always been a part of my life. I started dance pretty much as soon as I was walking and talking, I was dancing. And so I just can't imagine not doing it because it's something that all of my family does. So it's just always been a part of my life.
Where did you go to high school, Sydney?
I went to Canton High School in Canton, Michigan.
And so you did theater there as well, and choir and...
Yes, I didn't do theater at my actual high school, but I did stuff in the community, but I was involved very heavily in the choirs there. My senior year, actually, I was technically in 3 separate choirs, which was nuts. I was very heavily into choir in high school.
Yeah, I mean, singing is just a part of who you are. And right now, how are you doing with this whole quarantine situation? I know that you're a sophomore at Sienna Heights, but now you're sort of a junior.
Yeah, it's been hard. I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to keep in touch with a lot of my friends in the department and my professors. Actually, one of my professors, my acting professor, Mark DePietro, and I email back and forth a lot, and he'll check in on me, be like, hey, how you doing? And he was actually the director for our show that got canceled.
Yeah, tell us about that. Come on, Sydney.
We were doing A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and I was playing Sabella Howard, which is one of the 2 lead females in that show. And I was super excited, and the whole cast got along so well, and we were so great together. And I had never played a role like Sabella before. Sabella is very unto her own. She is a very special character, and I was having so much fun doing character development and character research with her. And I was talking to Mark, my director, and he wants to do something in the fall, like even if we just record a couple of the songs or do like a short performance of some of the music, because we just all fell in love with this show. And it really sucks because 2 of the leads were seniors.
Yeah, so I was glad, selfishly glad, that we were done with our theater season before all this hit. But my heart just breaks for all of the theaters that were in the middle of their, productions. And people don't really realize, if you're not in the theater and you just go to theater, I don't think people really realize all of the hard work that goes into a performance.
Some do, but some just don't get it. Because our whole goal as actors and actresses and dancers and singers and performers is to make it look effortless and easy. And I know, like, when I go see a show, I'm just like, if I were not an actress and I would not have done that before, I would be like, that looks like they woke up and just knew how to do this. And
Exactly.
it's so much time and effort, and not even just physical effort. It's a lot of mental effort. And I figured this out more recently in the past couple of years in college, that I've been doing a lot more character study recently, trying to really dive deep into a character, and it brings it to a whole new light when you realize, oh, this is why this person acts this way, and blah blah blah. And so all this work that we put in to our shows, developing characters, learning the dances, learning the music, all just poof, gone in a second.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. My heart goes out to everyone listening right now who is in the middle of a production and it was halted because of this. It just, and in this time too, we talk about in a few of my podcasts, we've talked about the fact that art really does heal.
Mm-hmm.
And, in this time, people are looking toward artists to help them cope with this stuff. They're looking to musicians. They're watching Netflix. They're watching movies, TV shows, and things like that. And you see too that a lot of the Broadway community has come together big time to do some really nice things to kind of keep people together during this time. And you're doing a little bit of something lately that really piqued my interest. So tell everybody what you're doing.
So, very recently, at the beginning of all of this quarantine stuff, my mom actually came up with the idea for me to do a live on Facebook dressed as different Disney princesses and Disney characters. I've always been a hardcore Disney fan, and I love the music and the movies, and I love dressing up as all of these characters, especially because growing up, I always looked up to a lot of these powerful women in Disney movies and shows and whatnot. And I see what the kids see when they see you dressed up like that, and they just see this most magical person to look up to. And I wanted to bring a little bit of that back, especially because Disney closed down and people who work for princess character companies can't do their parties now. And so kids
we knew this was serious business when Disney closed down.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I have a couple of friends that work at Disney.
Yes.
And they were the first ones to find out before they publicly said that Disney was shutting down. And they messaged me and they were like, yo, Disney's
shut down.
Closed.
When did that ever happen, right?
I've never in my, and I'm not that old either, but never in my 19 years of existing have I seen or heard of something so bad that can get a multi-billion-dollar corporation to just shut down.
Girl, I am old, and I'm telling you, in my 51 years, I've never seen it. It's mind-blowing. So what you decided to do was you're doing this Facebook Live kind of princess live deal. And so what does this entail? What do you do?
So every Friday and Saturday at noon, I go live dressed as a different princess or character. The most recent ones I've done are Elsa and Anna from Frozen. I've done Mary Poppins, Princess Ariel, and a few others. And we usually start with a story time, and I either tell that specific princess's story, or I'll do kind of yesterday I did Princess Elsa or Queen Elsa. And I told the story of one of the shorts that Disney did. So it was about Anna's birthday and about how they finally got to spend their birthday together. So I did that. Then I'll usually do a sing-along, and then I'll give the kids an activity, and I have them or their parents post on the video a picture of them doing the activity. So last week when I did, what did I do last week? When I did Princess Anna last week, I had them draw their dream snowman, and they sent me pictures of these cool snowmen that could go hang out with Olaf.
Love that. You could be a teacher, Sydney.
I love teaching. I love teaching kids. That's kind of my backup plan, actually. Yeah. If the performance side of it doesn't work out, I would like to go back to school and get a master's so I can either teach in college or teach at a high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, teaching, a lot of teaching is performing. I
It
will tell
is.
you that you got to keep the kids engaged or they just don't listen. So,
Hmm.
a lot of that is that. And so it's every Friday and Saturday, and you said at noon.
Yes.
And then how do they tune in?
You can go to my mom's Facebook page, Sherry Lyford Bramlett on Facebook, and she has it public, so you don't have to friend her. But if you friend her, you'll get a notification that she's going live, so you'll be able to find that more easily. And she usually will post about it about a half hour or an hour before the live goes up, saying, "Hey, so and so is about to go live, so make sure you tune in." And also for people listening, make sure you know that is noon Eastern Standard Time, because I've had a couple of people come on an hour late or an hour early, being like, "Hey, where's Princess Anna?" And I missed it. We do share the post, the live after it's done. So if you miss them, or if you would like to go look at the ones that I've already done, you can go on there and look for those.
Okay.
I'm gonna have her make an album of all of them, so we can just all have them in one place.
Oh, that would be great. And we're and on this podcast, I will put that in the information on our link, so they
Well,
can they
awesome.
can link up to the Facebook Live. Well, I think that's wonderful that you're doing this in this global pandemic. What else have you been doing besides this to keep yourself busy and active in your mind and your body and your soul?
Yes, I've been trying to stay as active as possible, because you can't stop doing theater and dance and singing and stuff. You got to keep going. My teachers have really been helpful by doing online. I have to send in videos every week of me doing different songs from my rep, as well as working on accents and different monologues and such. I have to work on those while I am on break, in quotation marks, because it's not really break, it's more like sad times.
It
I
is
don't
sad
know.
times, because you're not physically there with your peeps.
I
I
miss
mean, not
my
to say that your
department.
parents are not your peeps, but I'm just saying you're not
Yeah,
your peeps. Yeah.
I love being with my mom and my dad. I absolutely love it, because I don't get to see them that much while I'm at school because I'm so busy. But I miss my theater family, my department, my theater Sienna department. They are my ride or die. Like, I love these people so much, and a lot of them live super far. One of my best friends lives up in Sheboygan,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
lives 4 hours from me, which
And I got
sucks.
to say too, even as a teacher in the arts, I'm missing that whole collaborative feel of a
Hmm.
theater department. Um, it's different doing things online. It's not,
Very.
we're used to being together, and it's collaborative, and it's a little, it's limited when you're online.
Yeah, theater is all about relationships. That's what my professor says all the time during acting. And one of my favorite things that we do in my acting class is we do a lot of improv. And we'll just get into groups, and he'll say, "This is your situation today. This is your theme today," and go. And you just have to go. And so all of these people that I get to know, I know how they work. I know how they collaborate, and it's easier to do it with them, and I miss them so
Yeah.
much, because I miss those connections that we make every day during class, during rehearsals, just hanging out. It's all about relationships, because what is life without relationships? That's what we are going to see on stage, a relationship between two characters.
That's
And
right.
it's hard to build those. Like, I have a friend who's been wanting to do a scene with me since the beginning of the semester, and we just both got so busy that we didn't have time, and so I did scenes with other people in the class, and we finally found a show that we both really liked and that we both wanted to do. And then all of this happened, and he was like, "Well, I guess we could do it on a FaceTime call." And I was like, "It's not the same."
Not the same. We had my seniors every year do what we call the big show. And so all of this is like a rite of passage type of a deal. And as a class, they come up with a theme, and then they write an entire show based on that theme, where everyone has a role in the show. And then they perform it in the black box for all of the people in our department all day. So I get them like out of school for the day. They perform it maybe 5, 6 times a day. And it's just a thing that they look forward to. And we were right in the middle of it, and we were almost performing it. We were about 2 weeks away from performing, and then this. So I get it. It is heartbreaking, but you know that the art's always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can always kind of go back to it. And I love that you're keeping busy through this way of making kids happy. What have been some of the reactions of the kids when you show up?
It's actually, I did a couple of FaceTime calls, and I think my favorite was a little girl named Nora. Her mom took a video of her reacting to me on the thing. So she had the FaceTime on a separate device and was recording Nora talking to me. And you would have thought that I was sitting right there with her.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing experience. And actually today was Nora's birthday, and her mom did a birthday parade. So I drove by dressed as Princess Anna, and she was freaking out because Anna came to her birthday parade. And because theater is stressful, I'm not gonna lie. It's not gumdrops and rainbows all the time. Nothing is. But as soon as I see, like, oh, my wig's itchy, oh, this dress is uncomfortable, none of it matters when I see that kid's face.
Yeah.
All of the hard work, all of the time and effort, all of the uncomfortableness, the pressure that we go under as actors is all worth it when it's actually happening. Because I know actors who will be like, oh, I'm so stressed about the show and blah, 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 but not for a second do we not appreciate the time that we get on that stage.
Absolutely. I think that's, the audience reaction, the audience receiving what you're putting out. Every time you perform, whether it be like on this Facebook Live or a full-length production, whatever or you're singing somewhere, you're giving that out. It's I always tell my kids, it's a gift you're giving. And you don't know how the audience will receive it, but that's the beautiful part. That's that relationship that you have. You're giving this gift and then they receive it however they're going to receive it. And I have to say, anytime I've done any type of a children's show, they're so receptive to the characters. And it's as if they know them, right?
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. And she's going to remember this for the rest of her life in a good way instead of in the pandemic way.
Yes. And that was kind of my whole purpose of this, is that all these kids are stuck at home. And I know a lot of them, this was about the time that their spring break would have been, especially when I started this, was about the time that most elementary schools do spring break. And I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook saying this is the time that we would have been going to Disney and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people go to Disney during spring break. And I don't want these kids to lose that magic, because Disney even as a 19-year-old and even to my mom as an adult, I mean, I'm technically an adult, but
I get what you're saying.
No matter what age you are, Disney brings magic into our lives, and I don't want the kids to lose that during this time, because it's such an important part of my life, and I know it's going to be an important part of theirs when they're my age or older. That Disney magic stays with us forever.
It sure does. And you're making a lot of memories for people, and that is so important. This is so stressful for so many people, and for you to make this magic for them and do that out of the goodness of your heart and with the skills that you've learned through your theater education, I think is a winning combination, Sydney. So thank you for doing that.
Of course. This is just so upsetting, and I keep saying to all my friends, like, we'll talk about something else over text or whatever, and then we always come back to this about how upset and how sad we are. And I say, I know I've said it a million times, but I'm just really sad about all of this.
And I think it's okay to feel your feels. We've been talking about that on the podcast and all these phone calls I've been taking all day long from everybody. And it's a weird time, and it is a sad time, but again, we've got to find some light in it. And so I think that, you doing this is bringing not only yourself light, but also these people, that you're performing for. So I want to thank you very much for coming in today, Sydney.
Thank you for inviting me in.
And I'm just absolutely thrilled that you're using your talents for the good, and you keep doing that. And all the information will be on the YouTube page, so people can tune in on Fridays and Saturdays.
Awesome. That's so exciting.
All right, honey, you stay safe, and it was so good to talk to you.
You too. Everyone out there, please stay healthy and safe.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.